What's going on, lads and lasses? Welcome back to 100% Marks. If you could, please hit a like on the video and also subscribe, because I'm on the road to 600 subscribers. So we're going to our second Premier League game of the season, this time down at Villa Park. And of course, Aston Villa didn't start off their season on a good note neither, with them losing 3-2 against newly promoted side Watford. And of course, us losing 4-2 to, of course, West Ham at St James's Park on the opening day. Now, looking at this game, we do have the news that Joe Willock probably will be getting his debut and his second debut for the club, of course, since he had his debut last season when he came in on loan. But of course, this will be his proper debut now that he is a permanent Newcastle United player, coming in for a course of fee of 25 million plus add-ons. So a smaller fee and then add-ons on top to make it 25 million. And of course, if he does net a goal in this game, it will be his 8th successive Premier League game that he has scored in, which will mean that he does beat the Alan Shearer record of 7 consecutive Premier League games, which of course Shearer held from September to November of '96. And of course, looking at with players as well that won't be featuring in the game, obviously Paul Dummett, Martin Dubravka remain unavailable, while it's assumed that Freddie Woodman will continue in goal as Caldolo recovers from COVID, as he is in hospital recovering from COVID. Looking at Aston Villa's side of things, Dean Smith's side were beaten 3-2 on the opening day by, of course, newly promoted side Watford, like I just said, in their opening Premier League game. And, of course, last season's top goal scorer for Aston Villa, Ollie Watkins, missed out due to a knee injury, but is predicted to be available for our visit to Villa Park. In his absence, so Aston Villa's new signing, Danny Ings from Southampton, marked his Villa debut with a goal. And, of course, it was a late one, coming in a penalty on the 97th minute, I believe it was, against Watford. Of course, Aston Villa couldn't do anything about the scoreline and they ended up losing 3-2 to Watford. That is a big boost for us in a way, because, you know, if they're losing a newly promoted side, then that does mean that, you know, there is a chance for us to come away from this game with the 3 points. Last season when we played them here, we were on the end of a 2-0 defeat. The previous season as well, also a 2-0 defeat. And the season before that was, of course, the championship season, where it was a 1-1 draw with an own goal from Elphick, and of course, for a win for Newcastle against Aston Villa. You've got to go all the way back to the 13-14 season and also the 12-13 season before that, for a 2-1 win in both, with, of course, the 12-13 one being Papias Cisse and Johan Kabay, and the 13-14 one being, of course, Hatim Ben Arfa and Johan Gouffran. Looking at the ref for the game, it's going to be none other than, of course, David Coote, the Nottinghamshire official. Took charge of Newcastle's 3-1 home win over Burnley last season and a 3-0 reverse at Arsenal last season as well. Jared Gillette, who is an Australian, and he has presided over Newcastle's games in the past. I think it was a League Cup game last season. Of course, he studies at Liverpool University, so once again we do have that Liverpool connection in there on the VAR and in there on the match again, as always. It always seems to be there, that connection between Newcastle and Liverpool, and it has been good in some points, but it's been bad in other areas as well. Mostly the fact that Terry McDermott and Kevin Keegan, you know, they were obviously the good connection with Liverpool, but then the bad connection is, of course, Kenny Dalglish and Graham Souness, you know, and of course the fact that they bought Andy Carroll for 35 million from us as well, when, you know, we should have been keeping a talent like Andy Carroll at the club because he was scoring goals. And then, of course, we did end up getting Andy Carroll back recently, and he just wasn't the same player anymore. Now, eventually, he has moved on out of the club because the manager now doesn't want to play him. Steve Bruce doesn't want to play him. So, looking at this game, hopefully, you know, we can come out of this game 3-0 winners. against Aston Villa, or just 1-0 winners would do. Getting the 3 points in the bag would be ideal, and a chance to get off and running after what was deemed, and could only be deemed as a pretty shitty game against West Ham. We were 2-1 up at half time. We went in, we come out, and it just all went to shit once the penalty decision was made, which completely cost the match for me, in my opinion. But of course, you can see the review of that and my thoughts on that up on the link up above. But let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Heading into this game against Aston Villa down at Villa Park, 3 o'clock kickoff this coming Saturday, 21st of August. And of course, we're playing on the 25th as well against Burnley at St James's Park, which of course I will be attending that game with my family. And of course, hopefully we can proceed through into the next round of the Carabao Cup. But we do have this game first. And we do have to do our best in this game and get the points rolling early, because we do have some tough fixtures, like I previously said in the preview for the West Ham game in December, and of course again at the end of the May period as well. Some pretty tough games ahead in this season, so we need to get them points on the board early, and we need to get running now before, of course, we'll get to them tougher games. Let us know your thoughts anyway down in the comments below. As always, remember, like, share, subscribe to 100% Mags, and I'll see you all next time. However, lads.